From a police officer to a courtroom drama that left everyone shocked, we're going to unravel the controversial story of Daniel Holtzclaw, who became infamous for serious offenses such as sexual abuse, including rape, sexual battery, stalking, and forcible oral sodomy against multiple black women. At 2 a.m. on June 18, 2014, after Daniel had already completed his shift, he made a traffic stop without reporting to police dispatch. The driver was Jani Legons, a 57-year-old woman. She said that Daniel told her to put her hands on his car, asked her to lift up her shirt, told her to pull down her pants, and made her perform oral sex on him for about 10 seconds. Jani promptly filed a police report. The following afternoon, Daniel was pulled aside at work and driven to the department's sex crimes unit. But something was not adding up. The police didn't find Jani's fingerprint on his car, but detectives believed that since his car was dirty, it was the reason the fingerprint was not found on the car, even though it was the inside of the car that was dirty, not the outside. Additionally, Daniel's DNA was not found in Jani's mouth, but the detectives still believed Jenny's story. After remaining silent, Daniel agreed to speak to the detective without an attorney, which he regrets forever.
You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him or her present with you while you're being questioned. Do you understand each of these rights I've explained to you?
I do.
You just write yes or I do or whatever right there. Oh, you're lefty too.
He was questioned for 2 hours in the interrogation room. He admitted he made a traffic stop after work and pulled over Jani, but denied all accusations of misconduct during the Jani stop earlier that morning.
How was she? Was she respectful? Was she
She
not?
felt like she was nervous and whatnot, and I'm like, why are you nervous? And she was even crying. I'm like, why are you crying? Why are you nervous? Whatnot? And she's just like, I don't know. I'm just nervous because you're a cop and I got pulled over. And I told her, I'm like, I don't really want to take you to jail for no SDL or anything. I just got off work. I'm tired.
Daniel looks really relaxed and answers questions calmly. It's as if he's completely certain the police won't find anything against him.
So if we go off the video and watch that,
Right.
you're still going to stick with your story.
Yes, sir.
If we go off DNA?
Yeah, as well.
Should we show you the video?
If yes.
You do want to see it.
Do yes.
So there's nothing that
Everything that I recall of that night is what was asked and everything. That's what happened.
Have I maybe not asked enough questions?
I think everything covered as far as that.
Do you recall putting your penis in her mouth?
I don't.
Would you recall that if you did it?
If I did it, yeah.
And do you understand that you don't have to full-blown ejaculate to get something out of the same exam?
Right.
We can get skin cells, we can get pre-ejaculate, we can do all that and still get DNA.
Right.
And did your penis go in her mouth?
No, it did not.
Okay. Because DNA will clear it up. And here's the deal too. We can fall on the sword
Okay.
and say I screwed up or something. But if we say we didn't do it, we didn't do it, we didn't do it, and then the DNA comes back and says he did it, then we have a huge problem.
Right.
We're here to give you the chance to fall on the sword, so we don't want a huge problem. We don't want a huge problem for you.
Right.
He takes off his uniform willingly, not knowing it was the last time he would wear it, and he ends up wearing an orange jumpsuit instead. The detectives believe that he is not truthful, but he was released after the interrogation and was placed on indefinite paid administrative leave. The DNA results came out, and they were confusing for the detectives. They found female DNA both inside and outside of his uniform pants, which was not from his girlfriend or the accuser. This unusual DNA led the detectives to believe it could be from another victim, indicating Daniel might be a serial predator. They also discovered unknown male DNA in the same spot on his uniform pants. According to a DNA expert, it is possible for DNA to transfer from your hand to your pants zipper when you use the bathroom. Later, it was revealed that the unknown female DNA matched a 17-year-old named Adaria Gardner, who had also accused Daniel. Just a few hours before pulling over Jenny, Daniel had given a ride home to this teenager. Adaria's mother told the detectives that Adaria described Daniel as a hot police officer. While reviewing Jani's case, the detectives remembered an earlier report of a police officer involved in forced oral sex. They checked police records and found a report from a woman who said she was stopped in May 2014, taken to an isolated area by an officer and forced into oral sex. Back then, no action was taken. When the detectives talked to her, she traced the exact path the officer had taken that night, and it matched Daniel's GPS records. The detectives contacted dozens of people who Daniel had interacted with through his job as a police officer. Almost all of them were poor black women with criminal history that could not trust the police, except Jani, who called the police. Eventually, the investigation by the prosecution gathered 13 women who were ready to testify. 7 other accusers, including a male, were dismissed from the beginning because the detectives didn't find their stories believable.
I interviewed one male.
One male who said that Daniel
Holtzclaw.
And what was the outcome of that?
He admitted he lied.
After they saw it on the TV, they were like, ooh, I can get in on this.
And this kind of case and these kind of allegations are sort of a magnet for people who are looking to cash in.
Right.
So this is good evidence?
Well, you tell me.
I think so, because I mean, y'all, even if he didn't even rape nobody or nothing, he's been in contact with people that he arrested.
The first case they found took place on December 20, 2013. A woman said she was arrested for having drugs and she ended up in the hospital. While she was still handcuffed to the hospital bed, she was forced to do oral sex. She also mentioned that after she got out of jail, Daniel kept making advances towards her several times. She believed that by doing what he asked, she might be set free.
Defendant is guilty of the crime of sexual battery and set punishment at 8 years.
On December 10, 2015, he was found guilty of 18 serious crimes. The jury suggested he should go to prison for 263 years. These charges involved serious offenses like first-degree rape, sexual battery, indecent exposure, stalking, and more. On January 20th, 2016, his lawyer asked for a new trial, saying they didn't see all the evidence. However, the judge refused the request right away. The doubts surrounding Daniel's case have generated significant controversy. Conservative columnist Michelle Malkin has written about the case and repeatedly argued that she believes Daniel is innocent. 62 of the 263 years Daniel was sentenced to in prison are solely based on the allegations of Sherry Ellis. She described her attacker as a short black man with darker skin than her own.
Tell me your description of him.
He's black.
He's black male.
Muscular.
How tall, could you tell? You're pretty tall. How tall are you? How tall are you?
5'11".
Is he taller than you or shorter than you?
Like right here, maybe, like that.
So you think he's shorter than you?
Yeah.
Additionally, another 50 years were based on Adaria Gardner's allegations, who described Daniel to her mom as a hot police officer. Meanwhile, one of his 13 accusers dramatically changed her story, and another one stated, "I never saw Daniel before the trial."
I have never seen him but before trial. That's when I finally seen who accused of raping me.
How many times did Holtzclaw touch you inappropriately?
He didn't touch me.
He never touched you?
No.
On the other hand, despite having 13 accusers, 36 alleged offenses, and 17 purported crime scenes, there were no witnesses to any of the crimes and no videos showing any crimes taking place. Daniel's sister, Jennifer, thinks her brother didn't get a fair trial because the judge, Tim Henderson, had to step down from his job for having a sexual relationship with a prosecutor. If Daniel's accused of something he didn't do and is truly innocent, it's scary because it could happen to anyone. You might be having a good and relaxed day at home today, but tomorrow you could be facing a similar difficult situation.